Hey everyone, welcome back to another player props video. Those games yesterday ended up being pretty fun to watch. The Liberty game was actually exciting. And then the other game, just because of our bets, it made us sweat. So I was paying kind of attention to it, but it was a blowout, like I said. So let's get into the recap, and then we've got two much better games on the slate today. All right, guys, so let's jump into the recap. Yesterday in the video, I did not give you any best bets. I just gave you two leans because I didn't like any of the bets that were up. And I warned you that the games were trash and that it wasn't really a great betting day. But I did give you Kayla Thornton over 14.5 points, which did not cash. She ended with 11. She didn't shoot very well, and other players were hot. I kind of told you in the video that I didn't really know what to do with that team. So that one did not hit. And then the other one, A'ja Wilson, under 10.5 rebounds. That one did hit. She scared us a little bit. She didn't play any of the fourth quarter, really. From the beginning until there was 5 minutes left in the game, which there was no reason for her to come in. They were up by 20 points, but she came in, got a rebound, and that kind of scared me. But then she left again, ended up with 8. It's scary betting under on MVPs like A'ja Wilson, but this is the fourth under we've cashed on her this year. So I don't know if it's the aces or if it's her, but we've been betting a lot of unders on her and cashing them this year. And then later on throughout the day, I did add two best bets in the comments and on X. So they cashed pretty easily, guys. Jewel Lloyd over 3.5 rebounds. She had 3 at the end of the first quarter and got that fourth one early in the second quarter. She ended with 7. She was amazing. So that was an easy win. And then JC Sheldon over 8.5 points. I think it's ironic. I told you in the comments that 1 point will matter because I was seeing it at 9.5 earlier in the day. And that 1 point did matter because she ended at 8. So through the first half of the game, JC Sheldon had 0 points. So I had given up on the bet. And then in the third quarter, she just went on a crazy run, got 5 points, like back to back. And then early in the fourth quarter, she hit a 3-pointer. So she had 8 points. And then, she left the game with 5 minutes left and never returned. So we lost by the hook on that one. Kind of sucks, but I had already written off that bet earlier in the first half of the game. So that's okay. That brings us to a total record of 29, 11, and 1 for the WNBA season. So we are doing fantastic. Let's jump into today's bets, and we're going to start with the thumbnail, Aaliyah Boston, who has just been on fire. So Aaliyah Boston, her point line is way inflated. Like it should be around 11.5, 12.5, and I think I saw it at 14.5 this morning. So her lines are very inflated, and this points rebounds line should be a little bit lower, but she's been clearing it. So we're going to keep riding with her, and we've cashed her so many times now that we're just going to keep betting her until it doesn't hit anymore. She's got a game today, and then she's got a game tomorrow against the Wings. She should hit in both of those, guys. Her points and rebounds should hit in both of those games. So she's over in 6 of 9 games with Caitlin Clark on the court. And like I said, we're just riding this train all the way to the end of the line. So over 23.5 points and rebounds there. It is 24.5 on some sites, but you can get it at 23.5. I found it on Underdog, but you can probably find it other places as well. We're going to go with Dearica Hamby under 16.5 points. If you look at her chart, she's under 9 of 15, but she has been trending up recently, which is kind of scary, but this Sparks team is just falling apart, guys. I don't know what's going on. Like on paper, they are much better than the way that they've been playing. So I don't know what's going to go on here. The total is really high. It's 172 and it's climbing. So you probably don't want to bet on a points under here, but I'm just rolling with it. I trust that Dearica Hamby, who mostly scores in the paint, is going to have a really tough time against Aaliyah Boston. So I think Azurá Stevens is going to go off again, and Rickea Jackson. So I'll just take under on Dearica Hamby for now. And then, guys, we just cashed an under on A'ja Wilson, so let's bet an over now. A'ja Wilson's rebound line is set at 8.5. I think they just dropped it way too low. It was 10.5 for the other game that we took under. I had to draw this in myself because the site hadn't updated from last night's score yet. But she's under in 5 of 10, which means she's over in 5 of 10. So this is a 50-50 coin flip, guys. We've been cashing her unders, but the Mystics are a surprising good team. Like they've been playing really, really well. And I don't know if Brittney Sykes is going to play tonight. She's their biggest point scorer. But I do think these aces are going to have to play hard to win this game if they want to win the game. I know they're coming off a back-to-back, but Asia didn't even barely play in the fourth quarter, so I don't think they're that tired, guys. I think they can keep up with the Mystics here. I did bet the Mystics on the money line because I saw it at plus 290, and I also bet them on the spread. I think the Mystics could easily win this game against the Aces, and I think the Aces are going to have to play hard if they want to win the game. That means Asia living up to her MVP status. I think her PRA is okay. I saw it at 34.5, and I do like it there. But I like the rebounds a little bit more. I can't really say why. I just have this feeling. So I'm going all in on her rebounds. And then I have a couple leans for you guys. Caitlin Clark has been missing all of her three-point shots lately. She ended, if you guys saw the last game, she ended with more turnovers than points. So people are trolling her for that. But this is going to be a bounce back spot at home against a Sparks team that is not good. So I took her over 2.5 3-pointers made because that line was lowered. This is not quite a full payout on this. Well, actually, you can find it pretty close to a full payout on parlay play. But other than that, it's juiced. So you're going to have to pay some juice there. But you could just sprinkle it in to one of your bets as a little sprinkle. She's over in 5 of 9 lately. She's been missing. She's at home now, playing against a really bad team in the Sparks. And the game total is really, really high. So I'm happy to bet on that. And then our last lean is in the same game. Kelsey Plum over 4.5 assists. We bet this. We bet over 4.5 assists in the Minnesota game, and obviously that did not cash for us. Got pretty close, but it did not cash for us. I'm going to bet it here again against the Fever, who aren't quite as good of a defensive team as the Lynx, and the game total is just really high. Now, we bet under on De'Erica Hamby's points, so we're hoping that those assists don't go to her and that they go to Azure Stevens or Rickea Jackson. But I think Kelsey Plum for 4.5 assists is pretty good. Skylar Diggins just had 6 against the Fever in their last game. So I feel pretty good about that lean. Don't forget, guys, I bet my leans, but I'm not necessarily recommending for you to bet my leans because they're leans for a reason. They're a little bit riskier bets, or perhaps they're just lower payouts than usual. So that's why I put them in as leans, guys. Or sometimes they're risky bets. In this case, I don't think these two are risky. And then the Sonia special is back, you guys. I just wanted to mention it again because she did not hit it against the Lynx, the best team in the league. She's over in 14 of 15 games over this line. This is an altered line, a lower line that is usually available on like Prize Picks. Sometimes you can find it on Better as well. But if you can ever find Sonia Citrona at over 9.5 points, I mean, it's a free square basically. So throw it in with any parlay. She did not get it against the Lynx. She hooked us right there. But Brittney Sykes also was not playing in that game. So Sonia Citrone drew Kayla McBride. Kayla McBride was guarding her the whole entire game because she was basically the leader for the team in that game since Brittney Sykes was out. Hopefully Brittney Sykes will be back for this one. We haven't heard yet. But I think it's looking likely to me, but I don't know how people make their decisions on whether a player is going to play or not in the WNBA. This is just a great hit rate. I'm never not going to bet on this the rest of the year probably. So I just wanted to throw it out there so that you guys knew about it just in case you didn't. So let's do the recap. Today we are going with Aaliyah Boston over 23.5 points and rebounds. She is on fire, and we are not getting off this train until we are forced off. That line is a little bit too high, but she's been over in 6 of 9 with Caitlin Clark, so we're riding it, like I said, until we're forced off. De'Erica Hamby under 16.5 points. She has been trending up recently, but the Sparks team in general is just falling apart. And so I'm just going to take an easy under here. Hopefully Kelsey Plum just soaks up all the points. And then Asia Wilson, we just cashed an under on her last game. Now we're taking her over because the line is too low. It was 10.5. Now it's 8.5. We're betting over on that. They're going to have to play hard to win against this Mystics team who are surprisingly good. And then my 2 leans for you guys, Caitlin Clark over 2.5 3-pointers made. She's been missing her shots in the last 3 games, but now she's at home playing against the Sparks team that is not very good. We're betting on her here. And then Kelsey Plum over 4.5 assists is another lean of mine. Skylar Diggins just had 6 against the Fever, and so I expect Kelsey Plum to be able to dish it out at least 5 times in a game where the game total is 172 and climbing. Just hopefully those don't go to De'Erica Hamby since we took under her points. And then the Sonia special, guys. Sonia over 9.5 points. If you ever see that, it's practically a free square. She's only missed it one time against the Lynx, and she hooked, and that was with Brittney Sykes, their best scorer, not playing in that game. So she drew the tough matchup against Kayla McBride, and so she had a really hard time getting her shots off. So that's it for today, guys. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below. Help me push this channel out to more people. My picks will always be free to all of you, so I appreciate the free little things that you can do for me. Thanks.